Florida State's over-under is 6.5 this year, Dan.
Okay.
Last year, they almost made it to 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
A 2-10 season. They lost to Georgia Tech over in Ireland to open the year. Then they went on to lose 9 more games. They only beat Cal, which they did by 5 points at home, and Charleston Southern. So, yeah, a bit of a black eye, especially a year after they went 13-1 and won the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes without saying, you do not need a PhD in college football to know that Mike Norvell was on the hot seat after that.
Mm-hmm,
and so that's why we saw some big major changes this offseason. Got 2 new coordinators here as well, Gus Malzahn, Tony White. Got a good-sized transfer class. To Norvell's credit, he knew he needed to make some wholesale changes, if only for appearances. And it seems like there's a lot of optimism. It's only July, but it seems like there's a lot of optimism that the pieces that he has assembled are the right pieces, and they feel like they're poised to take a big step forward. They can't get back. They can't get any worse, okay? They can't take a step backwards. He'd be fired by week 3 if that were the case.
Right.
Where are you at on Florida State?
I think they have the potential to be, and I don't say this because of what Tom Castellanos.
Well, okay.
Tommy Castellanos?
Pause.
Okay.
It was Thomas Castellanos. Then somebody updated the database out there.
Uh-huh.
And now every site has Tommy Castellanos.
I'm good with it.
Call yourself whatever you want. I don't care. We've dealt with this before in college football. We've talked often about the infamous Monte ball transition.
Mm-hmm.
That was a journey for all of us.
I agree.
I am just going to completely zag. As I said 2 episodes ago, I'm calling him Big Tom Callahan.
You kidding? Go get him, Tom!
Here's what I kind of love about the move to Tommy, if I may derail this Florida State preview.
By all means.
Just for a moment. I don't have the data to support this.
These are always the best takes.
Is there a better folk hero college football first name than Tommy?
No.
Tommy Vardell?
Yeah.
Well, because you get touchdown Tommy, right?
Sure.
Tommy Armstrong? Who am I missing? Tommy DeVito?
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy Cutlets?
Yeah.
There is a lot of... I mean, who am I... So, yeah, I'm seeing on ESPN right now, Tommy Castellanos.
They changed it. I don't know when they changed it. I'm going to have to use the Wayback Machine to find out exactly when this database got updated.
Right. I don't know, man. I think there's, we've had some Joeys, Galloway, Harringtons, the like Billies. Tommy's pretty up there in terms of I think going from Thomas to Tommy made Florida State at least 1.5 games better.
Fair enough. I mean,
they have the opportunity, Florida State, this season, when you look at their schedule, when you look at the hopes and desires and passions. By the way, hopes, desires, and passions was part of our Skinamax show last season.
Yep.
They have the ability to be weird little stinkers this year.
Florida
they
State
really do.
Weird little
Florida
stinkers.
State does, absolutely. Running an annoying offense, bringing in random, you don't have a full concept of what the defensive transfers are going to be. If they're well coached with new coordinators, they could be weird little stinkers at 7-5.
It goes without saying that this is a high stakes situation for
Of
Norvell
course.
and Florida State.
And I don't know if 7-5 keeps Mike Norvell around Tallahassee, but weird little stinkers.
I think he's got to get to 8.
Probably.
I think he's got to go 8-4. And this is not a schedule doing him any favors. They open the season with Alabama. They've got Miami. They got Pitt. They're at Clemson. They're at Florida. All those teams are on the schedule. It's going to be tough to hit that 8-win total if, in fact, that is a threshold. Again, I'll come back to what I said at the top when I was talking about NC State.
Right.
I don't know if this is a situation where you can just snap your fingers and fix everything that led to a 2-10 season. You go out, you hire Gus Malzahn. It's a big deal. It's a big name. This offense was 115th in the country per the SP Plus last season. So they got to fix that. They went out, they got an offensive guy. I get it.
And they hired dear friend of the Solid Verbal, Herb Hand, to run the offensive line. Did they not? Yeah.
We like Tony White. There's a lot here. I will say this. I do like the pairing of Big Tom Callahan and Gus Malzahn.
I knew you would. Yeah.
I do. He's 10 stories high if he's a foot.
Yeah.
But Gus recruited him out of high school. He started his career with Gus. Ran for 1,000 yards 2 years ago. They went hard at offensive line in the portal. So provided somebody can step up at running back, Could be a nice little rushing attack. They will play some teams that can bottle up the run. I'm curious to see what happens then. Because Big Tom will tell you he's a playmaker. I love that part of his game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to lean on him to drop back and throw it 30 times for playing in Death Valley.
Right.
So that part of it is a little bit uncertain to me. I do wonder about the rebuilt line, if it can stay healthy, if the offense skews a little bit more towards the run or whatever. We'll find all that out in time. Deuce Robinson, Squirrel White were two really big transfers that Florida State added to help bolster the wide receiver room. How often they use them and what capacity they use them remains to be seen to me. But I don't hate that pairing with Malzahn. And I like the Tony White move too. We really like Tony White.
We really like Tony White.
May surprise you to hear that he likes more of an aggressive approach on defense, I'd say.
Of course.
But they've got a solid grouping there. I'm not sure there are any gravitational players, not anybody who's single-handedly going to blow up a game plan, but
right.
It's also not an easy defense to install.
No Derwin James on this 2 deep.
No, and so it's like the combination of maybe not having the star power with also not installing a particularly easy defense to pick up in, the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama minus 12.5 week 1 feels like a decent bet to me, but I don't want to sell Florida State short. I just think it's
They'll have a new quarterback.
I know. It's just it's a lot to ask in week 1 going up against a team like an Alabama.
I agree.
What's Florida State going to do this year? What's their record in your view?
I would have them at 7-5. I'm not fully sold on Castellanos, Malzahn at this stage of each of their careers. I know there's a lot of conversation around. He's like a Nick Marshall, like you said on our big picture thing. Like he's a Malzahn quarterback. Like I don't know, Malzahn quarterbacks that have like actually had a lot of success are really good throwing the ball. Nick Marshall is underrated as a thrower. I don't know. I'd like to see it before fully believing it in July. I think there's just too many new pieces. I'm in that 7-5 weird little stinker zone.